It's Bourbon Blog Live. Tonight we're joined by our good friends from Old Forge Distillery in Tennessee, in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. It's Keener Shanton, head distiller there at Old Forge. He's actually joining us from the distillery. And Chris is out wandering the streets looking for some good whiskey in Louisville, Kentucky. Is that correct, Chris?
From some good whiskey.
Is he looking for good whiskey?
Might find some good bourbon, but the best whiskey is going to be definitely 4 hours south.
Yeah, you may find some little mini bottles in Louisville as you're walking around there, right? You can find those in Louisville, kind of random places sometimes. It can happen. So, hey, guys, we had you on I think a couple months ago, and it's great to see you both. Chris is trying to get to a better signal. There he is. We're going to be tasting this one, the Cyclone Jim, and also I have a little. I've actually already cracked this. This is amazing. This is a great blended bourbon whiskey. I really like this a lot. Just a little overview. What's been happening at the distillery since we last talked?
Chris, since you're in Kentucky, I'll kick this off. How is it up there anyway?
Oh, it's different. Holy man, the squirrel just jumped out of a man. I just got scared. Man, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all right, Tom. Really, when was the last time we spoke? It's been, what, 2 months?
I think it was kind of right beginning of the shutdown, I believe.
Right. I remember because I was still at work. We had switched over to 100% making hand sanitizer. So we actually had to still running at whatever time we were talking. So that's really been it for 2 months solid. We switched over to hand sanitizer, just busted that out while the foot traffic wasn't here in town. With the shutdown, that's what we did, and just made a ton of it for our little place here. We made a lot, but the gates have opened back up, and with obviously some safety precautions, masks, and plexiglass, and sanitizer stations, we're back selling whiskey again, which is nice.
Right.
Wide open. We're actually doing pretty well right now. We're fortunate.
Excellent stuff. Well, no, that's great. And so, again, Pigeon Forge being a region that a lot of people come for tourism, you're seeing more tourism right now, right?
Absolutely. I don't know what to attribute that to. I'm kind of attributing it to people have had cabin fever probably for the past couple of months, and they're looking for a quick day trip to get out and go do something fun, have a little taste of something normal maybe. And so we're welcoming them with open arms.
Yep.
Yes, that's safe distance, of course, 6 feet away.
6 feet away. I think it is a little cabin fever, Tom. I was up here talking to Paul Tomajeski from MB Roland, and he said that they're killing it too with as far as number of tourists. They get a lot of people down from Chicago area, etc. So I think a lot of people are out, especially with it being summertime and everything else. They're out, enjoying the night. Like, it's a beautiful night tonight here in Louisville.
That's amazing. I'm seeing some familiar sights behind you there, and it's good to see you there in Louisville. And again, for everybody watching, please like this video, share it. The story. We want to make sure we have a great audience joining us for some whiskey, as we always do. We're going to try the Cyclone Jim here in a few minutes. This is a very rare 12-year-old single barrel, and it comes in this great package. This is like one of the coolest packages ever, because it's this really like old school label. And this is so cool. What is this? This is so neat. I like this.
Well, it's a contradiction, actually, Tom. It's a snifter. Chris is not a terribly big fan of it because you can't evaluate the clarity of the spirit, but
yes,
it's a stoneware snifter made next door at the Pigeon River Pottery, and it's handmade by the head potter over there, Tommy Bullitt. And
nice. So it's stoneware. This is actually made. This is one of the first pieces of pottery that is a whiskey snifter I've ever seen. And tell us if anybody's watching, if you've ever seen anything like this below, tell me, because I've never seen anything that's a piece of pottery like this.
Yeah, we're kind of weird, Tom. We do some weird stuff.
I like that. I'm gonna try it out right now with some of your blended bourbon whiskey here.
Yeah.
Chris, you can't see the clarity. Is that what you're...
Chris, by the way, I'm watching you walk around, and I'm at how comfortable you are, and is walking around, is that like the Costanza version of eating an apple on the phone so that he's comfortable?
Yes.
You're walking around.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it, man. That's exactly it. I'm just it's like a Sprint commercial. I'm just looking for the best signal here, so I've got it.
No, it's good, and you know what? The amazing thing is, in downtown Louisville, you know, anywhere in Louisville, you never know what we may see behind you here in a moment. So it could just be, you know, a random shot, right?
Yeah. I've had some interesting conversations. Spoke to some officers.
Right.
You know, it's been interesting. Still love coming up here, and talking to a lot of new craft distillery, potential craft distillery owners. So it's a good thing. I feel like we got a good friendship and a good partnership with the guys up here at the Distilled Spirits Epicenter, and it's a fun place. So
yeah, we might even see a barrel of whiskey rolling around on the streets behind you. You know,
we might. It had a squirrel scared the heck out of me. That's for sure. I didn't know what was going down. You know, but
well, so I went ahead and poured myself some of your blended bourbon whiskey. Like as I told you, I went ahead and tasted this one the last few days. What am I tasting here? This is really beautiful.
You're tasting an aggregate of things from 0 years old all the way up to 12 years old.
Right.
So you have a fair, you probably tasting it, a fair amount of some of this 12-year-old to offer that woody note, that really heavy wood. You've obviously got some grain neutral spirits in there, and the reason we did that at the rate that we did was to make it a little more approachable. Even though the higher proof brings a little more heat, it does kind of dial back that whiskey flavor, and that's been important. It's done well in our cocktail bar with cocktails. Phenomenal cocktail whiskey.
Yeah, I could see a cocktail, and I may have to make one here in a little while. So it's everything from just a little bit of GNS for the approachability, all the way up to couple-year-old to 12-year-old Tennessee whiskey.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, so something, Tom, that we've done is everything that Keener's created. We make sure we focus on making, trying to hit it with an easy mix or what have you. And it pains Keener and I when we watch people get our 10 or our 12-year and pour some Coke in it, So this gives them an opportunity to have a good little blend where they can go ahead and put a little Jack, not Jack, but Coke in there, make a little Coke and Old Forge there. So it's definitely pretty good and pretty good smooth,
Yeah, I like this a lot. As far as blended whiskeys go that are, no age statement, 100 proof, this is something that I think is very, very special. I get those older notes, I get the younger notes. It's very well done. Where can people find it? Where can find it?
Right now, only at the bottle shop here in
Pigeon
Forge.
Yeah.
We're still kind of working through, getting it into some distribution, but that's probably going to be very limited because one of the big components of this whiskey right now is a whiskey or a liquid that we just don't have a bunch of. So we'll see. So
this is a fairly limited release then. This blended bourbon whiskey.
Right.
Yeah.
Only
absolutely.
Slightly less limited than this little baby right here.
That's the one that's very limited. We've been teasing forward to all week now. The story behind this one, again, Cyclone Jim. How many of these bottles were made? Approximately.
What's first run?
I didn't even hear the question, man. I do apologize.
That's okay. This is fairly limited. How many of these were made? This is a very small, limited batch.
Tom, we've only dumped one barrel.
So this is only one barrel. Wow.
That's all we've dumped to date. See, the deal is this snifter that you have, each barrel is going to have a unique color snifter to it. So I'm not sure what Tommy's going to come up with for the next one. We've obviously got a greenish turquoise thing going on right now. There were 240 bottles that came out of that initial barrel. So that's what we have to play with right now. We'll see what the next one offers. It may be less, it may be more, and we won't know.
All right. Well, I'm about to do the unboxing here in just a moment. Again, it's Old Forge Distillery from Pigeon Forge. If you've been to Pigeon Forge, if you've tried their stuff, tell us down below what one of your favorites is. It's a great distillery. You got to check it out. And if you have any questions for Chris or Keener, please ask them down below. Will says, I need to get back to Pigeon Forge. Greetings from New Jersey. We have people watching from all over for this special tasting. I'm going to go ahead and crack the seal here on my Cyclone Jim and get ready to try this with you. Now, when you look at a 12-year-old bourbon, a single barrel, how did you all go about finding the barrel that you wanted?
Chris, you want that one?
No, it's kind of interesting because the selection that we do have, Keener, I mean, he's seen it. It's kind of got a pretty good wide variety of what you're getting out of that as far as, really the barrel influence, if you will. We've kept a non-chilled filter. I'm not sure, Keener, if you've mentioned that or not, but keeping that non-chilled filter, it really gives you an opportunity to taste, everything that barrel can throw into that liquid you're getting. So it's kind of fun to see, Keener's reaction. I'd say, he likes 9 out of 10 of them. So it's been fun, definitely.
But I'll drink the 10th anyway.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have to.
I don't have to like it.
No, absolutely.
And then again, this wonderful limited edition tasting glass. What do you call this? Goblet. It's what do you call this?
The goblet.
Of Christ.
Whiskey snifter.
It's just a tulip-shaped snifter, Tom. You've seen the Glen Cairns.
Yes.
Something similar to that. But,
Tom, I think the best part about that though is it adds to what you get when you come to Old Forge. I mean, we're making the snifter you're drinking the whiskey out of.
I love it.
Our grains are ground next door on a lot of our other lines at the old mill. 1830 grist mill. It's been going longest continuous running mill in the U.S. Yeah. And I mean, heck, we got a restaurant on site that the plates you eat off are made by hand as well. So breads are made in the same building. So it just adds to that same feel and story, that the old mill and where Old Forge is at is what it adds to. And we want to keep with that tradition,
Right.
Well, you guys have done it from the moonshines to your whiskey to that 10-year-old I tasted with you a few months back. Everything you guys have put out there is just splendid. And as I joke about it, but I love this. It looks like if I were to have been, if I would have a time machine and I could go back to like a time of like Lord of the Rings and say, I'm going to pour bourbon for you. I feel like this might have been on the shelf. It's mysterious. It's just this mysterious, fun, but also Pigeon Forge nature of it. It's so cool.
Right.
It's almost magical. I mean, it feels magical. It does. It feels magical.
To go back to Middle Earth, to kind of talk about, Chris hit on some of the history. We haven't really talked about the name, why we chose Cyclone Jim.
What does Cyclone Jim mean?
What does that horse represent? And Cyclone Jim was, I wish Tommy were here. He had a prior engagement. He's the head potter, but he can speak better to this, but I'll try to do my best. It's the original horse that used to turn the clay mill next door at the Pigeon River Pottery.
That's really cool.
I'm not sure exactly. It was a clay grinding machine. I wish I could show you a picture right now, but that's the horse. And that's really Pigeon Forge's initial tourist attraction back in the 40s, I believe it was. So that's we're paying homage to that horse and spirit, that every horse after him that carried his name. He wasn't the only one. He wasn't the only Cyclone Jim, and this isn't going to be the only barrel of Cyclone Jim.
This is going to be one of many. Well, okay, I have it poured. I'm ready to taste it with you. I also love the fact that because I can't see through it, I have no idea how much of this poured. I love all these elements.
Perfect. Yes, Tom.
I like this. So we're going to give it a nose.
I really appreciate the Middle Earth. I mean, Keener's a big Lord of the Rings fan. One of the partners, Craig, is a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Precious, it's a great. I love that you said that. That's great. I love it.
That's where my mind went to. Mysterious, interesting, old school label. The packaging and the story was just very transportive. So I mean it. I think it's great packaging. All right, we're gonna give it a try. Keener, do you have some with you?
I do.
All right. Chris may have
They
some.
put these
Do you have a
Keener-proof
flask in
tabs
your
on here. I
pocket,
have a
Chris?
hard time opening it.
Man, I don't have any with me. I get you guys
But he's tried.
enjoy.
I've got a set of
I've had it.
fingernails over here that's going to open that for me, Tom.
All right. I'm giving it. The nose is incredible on this. There's a lot happening on this nose. I mean,
Right. It should
you can tell it's very old bourbon.
vaguely familiar to what you just had.
Yeah. Wow. That's a lot of strong barrel, some really nice. I mean, I'm getting some really great, maybe even some slight tobacco notes. I mean, there's some just beautiful things coming off this nose. And this glass, I mean, I know we're joking around, but it actually does work extremely well on the nosing.
Right.
It does really work nicely.
That's the idea. Hell, I can look at the clarity through the bottle. I didn't need to see it through my glass.
You guys are a lot of
man. Let's rock
and again, it's our friends from Old Forge Distillery, Pigeon Forge. We're doing the unboxing and the tasting of the Cyclone Jim. Are you all right? Is there a special toast to Cyclone Jim that you guys have?
Nay.
Hey, that works.
My precious.
Cheers, guys.
Just as delicious.
Oh man. That is splendid. That is so deep. This is at what proof is this at again?
110.
110. 12-year-old single barrel. This is really good. From that first sip, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Again, it's only available at the gift shop.
That's right. Like I said before, when talking about the blended, there's a very finite amount of this 12-year-old left until we get some more aged. So.
This is so nice.
I'm glad you like it. Chris,
yeah,
back
I mean,
to what you said. How much did Jeff pay you to mention Jack Daniels, by the way?
Was that Chris?
He's frozen in time.
Oh, he's taking the fifth. He'll be back. The whiskey was so good it froze him in time. So I'm getting a lot of great barrel, a lot of that, almost that pipe tobacco.
Right.
All kinds of layers here. I mean, this is really good. What's this gift set cost approximately?
Gosh, what do we sell it for? $89.99.
$89. Really, it's amazing. That's a great. Wow. This is a very special. And if you are near Pigeon Forge, you go through Pigeon Forge. This is something you'll want to get. Again, $375, and this limited edition from the Stoneworks. Is that what they're called again?
It's called the Pigeon River Pottery, but
Pigeon River Pottery.
The type of pottery is stoneware. And I couldn't tell you the first bit about what that means versus clay or anything like that. But
right.
I know Tommy's real sensitive about it. He calls it stoneware.
But it is actually like right across from you guys.
It is, yeah, right. Yeah, Chris mentioned it. We're right next to this 1830s grist mill that's been here doing that thing, rocking and rolling for nearly 200 years. The pottery's been around since probably the early 1900s, 1930 probably, 1912, something, long time. But I can't wait till we can do one of these where I can actually walk you around and show you everything we have to offer.
We'll definitely do it.
Stuck in this room right now, but
Pigeon River Pottery website up so people can check that out, because I know it's a great area. So many cool stores, so much to see. If you've never been to Pigeon Forge, I mean, hopefully people who watching have. But again, if you haven't been, this is such an exciting place to go to, and definitely anyone traveling to Pigeon Forge or over near Gatlinburg, stop by and see our friends there at Old Forge. Got their website up there too. Old Forge Distillery. More than just the whiskeys, you have moonshines. You have some incredibly tasty flavored moonshines too, right?
Right. We have. Probably 24 different products in a mason jar. Probably actually close to 30 when you count all of our flavored moonshine cherries, but everything from flavored 60 to 80 proof all the way up to 100 proof. And we do have a backwoods cut that is straight from the still that we offer only in the store. It varies, but the current batch is 134 proof. So that's pretty hot. Rum, blended bourbon. We have a rock and rye line that's 5 products deep.
Wow.
Nothing traditional about that line at all as far as the rock and rye. Vodka, a barrel-aged gin that's also not very traditional. It's 100% local. Well, as close as you can get. We don't make the glass here, but we do get our grapes, our muscadine grapes that we ferment and distill into that product. We get those locally here in Dandridge, Tennessee.
Right.
What else? What am I missing? A cream liqueur line that rotates seasonally.
Oh, those are good too. Those are so
34 proof, good for coffee. You can actually make ice cream with them. We've done some work with our creamery across the road, adding milk and making about a 6% alcohol content flavored ice cream with them. That's fun. But that product line's 15 products deep, and they rotate seasonally. So you never know what you're going to get in that line, Tom.
So much great stuff. And that rock and roll, that's like a pre-bottled cocktail ready to pour. It just is.
It is. Like I said, there's not much traditional about it. Probably the most traditional flavor pairing we're going to have is a honey fennel. That's about it's got a little bit of lemon in there. It's probably as close to an old fashioned as you're going to get as pre-made or ready to drink. Peach habanero. We've got pairings from flavors that we've dragged out of our herb garden. Orange rosemary, honey fennel, grapefruit thyme. What am I missing? I said peach habanero, ginger lemongrass. So they're 86 proof, and they're all right.
Really good stuff. Yeah, tell us again, if you're watching, you've had any of these whiskeys or shines or the rock and rye, tell us down below your favorite. Like and share the video. We're really doing all we can to support great friends in craft distilling, especially during these times. We like what you guys have done so much, Keener. And when I saw this, I knew that I said, I'm going to save this for tonight. I knew it would be delicious because you guys do such great stuff. You pick out amazing barrels. And the more I'm tasting it, that warmth, that 110 proof, it drinks even, it's warm, but it drinks lower, and it's luscious. This is luscious whiskey.
Like I said, man, I'm glad you like it.
What other flavors do you get on it? To me, the barrel, the tobacco are heavy. Maybe even a little bit of really deep honeys. What notes do you get?
You're nailing it for me. I'm getting a huge woody note being 12 years old.
Yeah,
and I like it. It's not a campfire thing, that's indicative of a young whiskey, but very wood forward for me. Like you said, honey. I don't know if my tone's just weird right now, but I'm getting on this one. I'm actually getting a little bit of anise, and I don't know if that's that or not. And I
slight spice anise, very elegant, and obviously you've been through a lot of these barrels, but there was obviously a lot of flavors that stood out to you on this barrel.
Right. We went. There were 300 of these barrels initially at 8 years old. It's kind of when we started this journey, and it's just progressed to where we are now, and it's been exciting to watch it mature. Wow.
And you all actually acquired the barrels when they were 8.
We did. We did, and it's of course there's an NDA involved, but it's a Tennessee distillery that is not that one that Chris Tatum mentioned earlier.
He kind of slipped. I know he meant to say something.
I know Jeff paid him for that. There's no doubt about it.
So many great distilleries. Someone's recommending to drink I wouldn't drink a whole bottle, but maybe drink some whiskey and go to Dollywood. That's
I've done that.
Have you done that before?
I've done it.
Anthony Jackson says Old Forge is great lots, and they're sending you their love. There are some fans, and then I think was there a commercial that you were in not too long ago, Keener?
Oh no, it's been ages ago. In fact, yeah.
Okay, I was asked to mention a commercial.
It was a Stouffer's commercial a few years ago for a bourbon glazed chicken. That was a fun thing to get to do, man. I'm exceedingly fortunate to get the opportunity to do that.
Now, what's the story there? You found some bourbon for some chicken, and then they decided to. What's the story?
That's a good question. They had a product line that they were releasing, and I'm not sure how they found our phone number, but I ended up on the phone and did a few interviews like this. One of which I'm convinced I got the job because I was on vacation and I was so loosey-goosey, man. I was not nervous, I'll tell you that. So, it was a couple of days up there. Awesome time. We spent it at Shot in Kentucky Peerless, which is a gorgeous place.
Oh, we love the Peerless whiskey.
Yeah, that was fun. I talked to Caleb up there for a little while, pick his brain. So, it's neat. Very neat. Very cool.
That's cool. Yeah, the great guys, and quite another great distillery we like is Kentucky Peerless. Again, for everyone who's watching, you're watching Bourbon Blog Live, make sure you like that link and bookmark it, as we'll be having more episodes throughout the week, bourbonblog.com/live, or wherever you're watching them, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, the other one's YouTube. Wherever you're watching, like it, share it, we love the fact that we're getting more and more people watching these nightly shows. And if you have any whiskey questions, there's my email address. And I'm going to write up a review of this. This is such a interesting, well, really both of them. I mean, we went all the way from a whiskey that has, so this actually has some similar 12-year-old whiskey in it.
Absolutely. Obviously not the same barrel, but definitely some of the same age.
Some of that same age.
For sure. Yeah.
And any more that the one that we had, the 10-year-old that we had a few months back, is that one that you still have on the shelves too?
We don't. There's still a few bottles floating about in the ether out there in some liquor stores and maybe some bars, but
right. Of
course our personal stash here in the safe, but we're not currently offering that in our store. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, there's, we're getting down to, a pretty finite amount of this product, and we felt like it would be, better served in something like this. We've been wanting to tell, more of the symbiotic story between our different little stores here for a long time, and we finally got around to it with this 12-year. I think it worked out perfect as far as timing.
Yeah, no, it really has. You will have you've released so many great products. What's coming up next? Then this was obviously the newest release, the 12-year-old Cyclone Jim. What else are you all working on that's coming up?
Tom, I'm retiring.
Are you doing more commercials? Right?
That's what's next. No, we have a line of different moonshines that we had previously been kind of scheduled to push out and promote about 3 months ago. And that obviously got kind of the brakes put on it. So we have about 5 different products that we've been sitting. They've been sitting in an R&D shelf for me for about 3 years that we're releasing now. Things like orange, caramel, pineapple, a cola moonshine, coconut, some summertime flavors, man. And again, it worked out that we're releasing them in the summer. Just the way it all worked out. So we do have a something that's not on here because I made it. It's a little too green, but it's a key lime pie one.
A key lime pie whiskey?
Marketing's like no. I put a little too much green color in it, Tom. So we're not promoting it in pictures, but if you hurry, you can get down here and get one of the nuclear colored key lime pies.
Is it a whiskey or shine, or what is it?
It's a moonshine.
So it's like what they would drink like in Chicago, like the green beer, but this is the green shine.
That's what we're doing with it. You hear that, Coleman? Yes.
St. Patrick's Day comes early.
Key lime pie bombs.
How green is it?
Oh man, this green.
Oh wow, that is green. That is really green. That's
I'm kind of ashamed of it. In fact,
no, that's
I don't want to show it again. Kind of makes me blush.
You can sell it and tell people it'll bring you the luck of the Tennesseans, I guess, or something.
Man, it's I'll tell you, we're blowing through that much more quickly than I thought. I made 250 gallons of it, and we're getting there a lot quicker than I thought. I guess the flavor has something to do with it. I don't know why.
Excellent.
It's helping
itself. Well, you're doing a great job. As far as just obviously more people coming back to Pigeon Forge. As far as in general, the Tennessee Whiskey Trail, what are you hearing from your fellow distillers as more distilleries open back up and are open? What are you hearing?
Right. I can only really speak for us personally on that.
Sure.
To be honest, it's because I haven't had time to speak to anybody. We've been fortunate.
Right.
Once things open back up, we've had to kind of bulldog our way. We've got, like I said, we've been fortunate. There's a lot of people that are coming to town, a lot of people that are coming to the distillery, and I haven't had time to really talk to anybody except for people that work here. We're doing fairly well.
Good.
The sanitizer curve has dropped off quite a bit. We're still selling a fair amount of it, which is nice. That curve has kind of dipped while the whiskey one's back up. I couldn't have them both up here, or I would retire. But it's like I said, we're we're in a good spot. We got good people, and we're wide open.
Excellent. Well, we really enjoy what you guys are doing. Again, for those of you just joining us, or just to recap what we've tried, the Old Forge Distillery blended bourbon whiskey. It goes from young all the way up to 12 years old, and really that older whiskey does come through nicely on it. I was really blown away at the complexity, the level of flavors, the grains, the way they showcase themselves. Really just an amazing sipper that I've been in the last few days. And then we went to the Cyclone Jim, which is a 12-year-old single barrel that comes with this incredible whiskey sniffer from your friends at Pigeon River Pottery. It's one of the coolest little sniffers I've ever seen, and I'm definitely gonna enjoy more whiskey in it.
All right, definitely top it off, man.
Yes, we pour a little more here. I'm gonna put the website up again here. Old Forge Distillery. Can people order any of these online, or they have to come to the distillery then?
This is the best place to come get it.
Best place to come
We're not
get it.
doing any kind of online ordering right now.
Okay.
We are distributed all over Tennessee, Kentucky, North and South Carolinas, Illinois, with a couple of other states in the discussion. But just come to the Old Mill Square, traffic light number 7 in Pigeon Forge. Hang a left and come spend the day here. Eat, drink, and be merry. Stole it.
It's a great place to go. Thanks to all who watched tonight on our Bourbon Blog Live tasting. Keener, it's always a pleasure to see you, my friend. I can't wait to get back there to Tennessee and maybe even crack open some barrels and taste with you.
Man, Tom, it's good to talk to you. I look forward to seeing you in person too, man. I thrive on those high fives, man. The human thing.
I know.
It's weird.
We're giving you a virtual one right now.
Right.
Appreciate. I don't know. Hopefully, we don't know what happened to Chris. He may have just found a great bourbon bar in Louisville and walked in. It's what could have happened.
No doubt about it. He found a great bourbon bar and walked straight past it to his room to sleep. Is what he did.
That's probably what he did. Chris was actually on another live I did last week or 2 weeks ago with our friends from Men Who Blog and Man Tripping, and it was great to see him get on there. And so it's nice to see him pop up several places.
Man, I know it. You've seen him more than I had the past week. That's for sure. You've seen him twice.
Excellent stuff. Thanks everybody for watching. Keep on coming back to Bourbon Blog Live. We're also going to upload the audio of this to our podcast channel. So be watching for that on Anchor FM/Bourbon Blog. If you're a podcast fan and you haven't been there, definitely sign up for our podcast. We all got a lot of great podcasts. I'm gonna go and toast to you, Keener. Thank you very much for being here. This is a delicious selection. Looking forward to seeing you in the near future, my friend.
Yeah, Tom. Thank you.
Cheers.